21 is voice, and voice is, it has many different, subtitles to it, like tone, persona, and irony, which, it kind of helps, you can get the words down, but if you have a voice to it, you can kind of better reflect on what the writer or the poet is trying to write with their diction and their words in the paper, so you kind of get an idea or get a background check on what the writer is trying to accomplish with what the poet is trying to accomplish on what he's writing. Just it helps get a better understanding of where they're coming from and what they did and things like that. And then the first detail of voice is tone. And tone is, it's we make distinctions by tuning in tone of voice. So a tone of voice, like, if you have a vocal, like, deep expression about something, you really care about it, or like it means a lot to you. And then if you're soft spoken about it, that's just how you are. But a tone can go a long way of saying the same word but meaning in a different way. Like you can say a phrase to somebody in one tone and then say another tone, but it could sound different to that person by the way you're saying it. So it kind of makes it difficult for them to figure out. And so in my first poem I found in tone is the Theodore Rothke's "My Papa Waltz," and then in the section he says, "My romped until the pans slipped from the kitchen shelf, my mother's countenance could not frown herself." So he's saying like his dad. It's two different ways that he's doing it. So because his dad's making dance and do things like that though, but he probably wouldn't. And then he'd do other things that wouldn't make his mom happy though. So it kind of makes it a little different, and it makes his memory of his father a little different. Because there's always good and bad times that you go through. So you just got to remember them both. And then the next supporting detail of this chapter is persona, and persona is like kind of like a background check, or you're trying to figure out where that writer's coming from, and it kind of helps. And and then when they like say like I in their poems, it helps you figure out, okay, they're coming from first person point of view, and it's helping you understand, okay, this is what they live through and what their life is. And then in one of their in the one in one of the poem that I got was Ben Johnson's On My First Son. He goes, "Farewell to thou child of my right hand and joy. My sin was too much. Hope for thee, love boy." So the way he was portraying it is he lost his eldest son to a plague, and helped us understand the speaker's voice would fall in the poem. So he was basically showing his deep empathy and expression. He was expressing his gratitude for the loss of his son. And then the last supporting detail of this chapter is irony. And irony is like there's different types of irony. You got situational, you got drama, and you got other ones too as well though. But irony, like it portrays one life as something, and it has some, and then but they're actually meaning something else. So it's not like it's like, oh yeah, they're living a great life, and then all of a sudden they don't really have the great life that you think of just by the way they're all on the outside, not on the inside. And then on my quote for irony is Richard Corey's. I mean, Edwin Arlington Robinson, Richard Corey. It says whenever Richard Corey went down to town, we people on the pavement looked on him. So it looks like people looked up to him as like he was a great figure or like an upper class citizen to everybody else. And then the last line of the poem it says, "And Richard Corey one calm summer night went home and put a bullet in his head." So obviously, the people thought he was living a great life or anything like that. It really wasn't what people saw him living, and he probably didn't like the life he was living. So that's why he took his own life. And that's it for chapter 21, boys.